Well, welcome to the Liberty Bowl, people. I have to say, I was wrong. Oh boy, was I wrong. So I've been saying all month, that basically, it's June. Basically, Ghislaine Maxwell gets sentenced June 28th, and that basically that they're going to use that as a distraction to distract you from from something that they're really trying to do, underneath the surface. And basically, they're going to, oh, geez, look at us, we're sentencing Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember, I said that. I've been saying that, for quite a bit. It turns out I was dead wrong. Turns out I was pretty right. For the most part, I was right, but it turns out it's the opposite way around. So basically we all know what's going on right now with Roe v. Wade. At least, really the majority of us don't know what's going on with Roe v. Wade. Hopefully, basically Roe v. Wade is basically, the overturning of bad federal law and turning the decision back to the states. Okay. So I'm not here to talk about Roe v. Wade. I'm not here to distract you. So what's going on is Roe v. Wade is being used as a distraction. All right. Roe v. Wade is being used as a distraction. People basically, they want to get you out in the streets fucking rioting. They want to make sure some violence happens this weekend. They need to make sure that some violence happens this weekend, people. Okay. That's basically what they need to happen. That's why fucking AOC's out there on a fucking bullhorn screaming for people to fucking get out there and fucking, raise hell this weekend or whatever the fuck she said, And basically, turns out Ghislaine Maxwell was just placed on suicide watch, and it's not by her choosing. Yeah, she's not the one saying, "Oh, I need to go fucking be locked down in the bottom of a fucking dungeon somewhere in a fucking New York jail by myself, alone, and only left with a fucking suicide smock to hang myself with." She's not the one saying this. In fact, she's telling her lawyer to come out and say that she's not suicidal, and she's even having doctors, all this crazy shit. We're definitely gonna get into all this shit in the article. It's basically some crazy ass fucking shit. Like I said, you guys are being completely fucking distracted. You guys falling for it. You guys taking the fucking cheese. You guys fucking taking that fucking goddamn bait. Hook, line, and sinker, man. All right. So basically, pay attention, people. This is some crazy ass shit. But before we get into that, let's get into this. Oh man, dude, this is fucking nuts.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to foot.
We're losing our democracy!
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Wake up!
Before we get into that, let's get into this. Welly, Orwellian then. So what have we got here from the New York Post? Well, we knew it was going to happen, right? We knew it was coming. We've been conspiracy theorizing about this shit for since it's been going down. So basically, it's finally going down. Ghislaine Maxwell on suicide watch and may seek sentencing delay. So this is coming from the New York Post out of New York. Ghislaine Maxwell has been put on suicide watch at a Brooklyn jail and may seek to delay her Tuesday sentencing for aiding Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse of underage girls, her lawyer said on Saturday night. In a letter to the judge overseeing Maxwell's case, Maxwell's lawyer Bobby Sternheim said her client is unable to properly prepare for sentencing after officials at the Metropolitan Detention Center on Friday declared the suicide watch and abruptly moved Maxwell to solitary confinement. Basically, they said, okay, you're going to be suicidal. And she's, wait, what do you mean? I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. Why are you guys taking me to this confined cell in the bottom of this fucking dungeon? What the hell is going on here? Right. So Strenheim said Maxwell was given a suicide smock, aka the Jeffrey Epstein noose, and her clothing, toothpaste, and legal papers were taken away. The lawyer also said Maxwell is not suicidal. A conclusion, she said, a psychologist who evaluated the 60-year-old British socialite on Tuesday morning also reached. So basically, she's telling her lawyer to make sure the public knows that she is not suicidal. And she even had a psychologist reach the same conclusion. So basically, what it could be, let's think logically. Let's not be straight conspiracy theorists. What it could be is basically, they know that she's about to get sentenced for a good chunk of time. They're saying that it could be, they're requesting 30 to 55 years. I believe I read an article saying. So she's going to be sentenced for a good chunk of time. Generally, people that are facing those kind of sentences are generally put on suicide watch involuntarily, just because that is, a heavy burden to have on your mind. Not also, not to mention Hillary Clinton is also a heavy burden to have on your mind. But still, generally that is what they would do. They would put you in suicide watch just before they hand down that major sentence to you. Oftentimes it's actually after they hand down that major sentence to you, because then you are aware of what you're facing. Generally, before you walk into sentencing, you kind of go in with a little bit of hope, because your lawyer's been telling you all these mitigating factors. Your lawyer's been telling you, don't worry, we're going to get you out of here. Maybe, you have blackmail against, multiple presidents and, congressmen and basically every social elite person, throughout the entire world. Maybe you're hoping some of those things will finally pay off for you. Basically before you go into sentencing, you go in with a little bit of hope. Sentencing is basically where your hope gets crushed. So a lot of times I would figure they would put you in solitary confinement or suicide watch afterward. So if Maxwell remains on suicide watch, is prohibited from reviewing legal materials prior to sentencing, becomes sleep deprived, and is denied sufficient time to meet and confer with counsel, we will be formally moving on Monday for an adjournment, Sternheim wrote. An adjournment? I don't think you're going to get, case adjourned, whatever. Let's just forget about this. Let's move on. The rest of the world is not paying attention anymore. Case adjourned. I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, you might get a sentencing delay. Basically they might put it off. They might not just do it right then and there. They might, wait, a few weeks or whatever. They might, come back, revisit it in 3 months. You could get, delays in cases, for years. There's people that sit in jail on years without having even been to trial yet. They're just getting delayed. It's not a lot of times like it's not like they're being denied their right to a speedy trial. It's because basically maybe they're having their stuff delayed so that way they can still be in trial and they could come up with more evidence. They could come up with more blackmail material. They can try and basically persuade people in other ways up until the point of sentencing. So basically that would be what I would think is going to happen. Basically, they're going to try and get the case pushed. You're just going to try and keep pushing sentencing. So basically, he doesn't have to start serving out her sentence just yet. So, a spokeswoman for U.S. Attorney David Williams in Manhattan, whose office prosecuted Maxwell, declined to comment. Epstein, 66, killed himself in August 2019 in a Manhattan jail cell where the financier was awaiting trial for sex trafficking. Yes, he killed himself in one of the most secure jails. This is where they held fucking Chapo Guzman. They held Chapo Guzman in the same fucking jail, and the fucking cartel could not fucking tunnel his ass out. But you're gonna tell me that fucking the cameras just so happened to go out for these 15 minutes, and during that time, Jeffrey Epstein, completely unaware that these cameras had just happened to go out for some reason, decided to kill himself right at that point. Bull fucking shit. That's not even a conspiracy theory. That's just basically telling you you're fucking stupid and stop asking questions, basically. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to stop asking questions before I decide to commit suicide. So prosecutors have said Maxwell should spend at least 30 years in prison, citing her utter lack of remorse. Maxwell wants a term shorter than 20 years. Yeah, she doesn't want a term shorter than 20 years. She wants basically all that blackmail and all that, dirt that she has on all these, elite people to pay off. That's what she really wants. That's what the entire plan was the entire, time. Basically, they set up these safety nets, these social safety nets that were, these safety nets for themselves that were supposed to protect them from this happening, right? Safety nets. Who would have thought that a safety net wouldn't work? The sentence will be imposed by U.S. Circuit Judge Allison Nathan in a Manhattan federal court. Maxwell has been held in the Brooklyn jail since shortly after her July 2020 arrest. So we shall see what occurs, what comes of all this, people. Like I said, this is a basically your conspiracy theories basically come true. Like I said, I was wrong, people. I was wrong. I was right, but I had it right just in the opposite direction. Basically, I thought that the whole Maxwell case was going to be used to distract you, or that the Maxwell sentencing was going to be used as a distraction from something else going on. Basically, it turns out I was wrong. Basically, something else is going to happen major. Basically, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, that is going to distract people from Ghislaine Maxwell being fucking locked down in a fucking dungeon, placed on suicide watch, all of her clothes and everything's stripping away, and she's going to suddenly start hearing voices telling her, hey, maybe you should shoot yourself in the chest and then hang yourself just to be sure. She's gonna start hearing those fucking voices telling her, oh, you're gonna want to commit suicide real soon. You're gonna be like, basically it's fucking all these conspiracy theories basically coming to life. She said very, very clearly she does not want to commit suicide. All right, fucking Ghislaine Maxwell is a motherfucking pimp. Jeffrey Epstein was a motherfucking pimp. Fucking to the highest fucking levels of people, basically. And pimps do not commit suicide, people.
I've never considered committing suicide. I'm a pimp. And pimps don't commit suicide.
All right, fucking so. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys definitely pay attention to everything out there. Like I say, don't get your minds wrapped up in what the fucking media wants you to pay attention to. Like I said, this fucking type of shit is relatively inconsequential as to what we could be paying attention to. Basically, don't let your when you see something that looks like an obvious distraction, it most likely is. Okay, and that's what this whole overturning of Roe v. Wade is. This whole overturning of Roe v. Wade is really, it's a full-on distraction, people. Like I said, I got it right. I was just wrong. I was in the opposite directions, people. So there you go, man. I really appreciate you guys, tuning in, checking out the show. Definitely pay attention to everything. Watch multiple shows. Don't just watch me. Don't get all your news from me. Don't get all your news from one source. Read multiple sources. Read left-wing sources. Read right-wing sources. Just figure things out for yourself, people. Pay attention. Get your heads out of the sand. I really appreciate all the time you guys have been spending watching my videos, shit like that. I appreciate the subscribers. Definitely tell your friends, share these videos. Definitely share this fucking video. Let people know you guys are being fucking distracted. Fucking Ghislaine Maxwell has just been put on suicide watch, and she is saying, I'm not suicidal. Why are you fucking taking me to this dungeon and putting me on this fucking Jeffrey Epstein suicide watch?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to. Love me if you want. But just use your common sense. Y'all killing me with this. You killing me, man. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.